3 years, 3 months, and 12 days. Sometimes it feels like it wasn't so long ago that I was just waiting to leave. My mind wasn't in a good place then. And sometimes it feels like so much has happened that I hardly know where to start. The thought of trying to summarize my experiences in words is overwhelming and even a bit saddening, because that would hardly do them justice. So instead of attempting to describe my journey, I'm going to share a few things that I learned on the way. I don't have many videos from the first 3 places that I went to, so these will all be from Thailand. And of course, these are all from my perspective, and you can have your own thoughts and opinions about what I'll say. Number 1. The world is so much more vast and incredible than I could have ever imagined. In Nepal, I sat with some friends in the late evening, in a little village hidden in the mountains. It was so far away from any city or artificial light or pollution that the whole galaxy seemed to open up before our eyes. I had never seen so many stars before, and I realized that they have always been there whenever I looked up at the sky, but I never thought to venture this far out to get more of a glimpse. It's also easy to think that the world is happening only where you are and only to you, but you need only look outside or look at a map to remember that there are countless other towns, cities, people, and life forms also experiencing life in a different way at this very moment. 2. Healing comes in layers, sort of like an onion. You've probably heard that before. When I got to Australia, I really wanted to believe that I had overcome all of the obstacles in my mind and that I was cured from the struggles that had been really weighing me down over the years. In general, I was feeling much better now that I was free to choose what I did and where I went. But much to my dismay, I learned that I couldn't run from my own mind. There were numerous times when I felt myself sinking deeper into unhealthy states of mind and body, and I felt ashamed and confused as to why these things were still happening after I had already done work to manage them. I had yet to learn that healing is a bit like a spiral. I would continue to encounter these states, but they would become fewer and farther between, and with less power as I acknowledged them and made efforts to work with them. 3. Sometimes having no plan is a great thing. When I started my adventure, I intentionally didn't plan much at all. I was tired of rules and feeling like I had no time to breathe, so I just decided to see what would happen if I went with whatever came my way. Sometimes this made me feel stressed, because I felt like I had to know what I was doing and where I was going, and I couldn't answer people's questions about what my plan was. But one day, as I was sitting with a new friend by the ocean in Vietnam, they told me how they just lived every day as it came. If they liked where they were, they would stay. If they didn't, they would move on. It was so simple, and it made sense. And like this, I ended up meeting some amazing people, living in places I could never have imagined, and learning things I didn't know I could find so interesting. Nowadays, I do like having more of a plan, and that's also great. But I recommend giving yourself the chance to flow with whatever comes along sometimes. I know it can be pretty scary, but you might just end up somewhere extraordinary. 4. Awareness is one of the most important things that you can cultivate in your life. In Thailand, I was introduced to Buddhism and to the practice of Vipassana. For those who don't know, Vipassana roughly translates to seeing clearly through or insight meditation. Throughout Thailand, many temples and monasteries offer 10-day courses where you can learn about and practice this, and they're usually donation-based. I began with a 21-day course, which was one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences I've ever had. So much so that I did another 10-day course soon after. I won't go into the details of it here, but one of the greatest lessons I learned was about practicing mindfulness in every moment. This, of course, is immensely challenging. So many of us are mostly living in the future or the past. When I started becoming more aware of what was going on within me in each moment, I realized how many of my troubles were situations either being relived or imagined. Making an effort to keep coming back to now has helped me create more distance between myself and my thoughts, to recognize unhelpful thought patterns and beliefs, and to feel the calmness of now. At this point in time, I really feel so much lighter than I did even 1 year ago, and it's like I've slowly been coming back to the me from when I was very young, that was joyful and expressive and laughed a lot. That's a good feeling.